Okay, welcome back to the channel. This is going to be kind of a more in-depth review of why I got back into the Ram, why I like the Ram, etc. Okay, so as I mentioned in my other video, um, I just happened to be at the dealership, right? They gave me a great deal on my Ford, like a super great deal. Probably the best deal that I've ever had, ever, when buying a truck. And I usually always get a good deal. That's why I can buy a truck every year. But because of the chip shortage and everything going on, look, if you're gonna buy a new truck and you have a high demand vehicle right now and you've taken really good care of it, the dealership is gonna give you a lot of money on top of your trade. As long as I mean, if you don't owe much, it's gonna be great. I don't owe much, and I didn't owe much on my Ford, and what they gave me, I turned that around as a down payment on this truck. Fantastic deal. So, anyways, but if you're gonna do it now because trucks are rolling in now, 22s and everything, stuff, all that stuff. They're coming in, so the demand is going to decrease in terms of the demand for used trucks, right? So if you're gonna buy one, I would do it now. Okay, so let's get into why I got back into a Ram. Look, I've categorized this in like 5 different topics to help me stay on track, right? So number one, it fits me better, right? What do I mean by that? It fits me better. Well, most importantly for me, when I'm sitting in the driver's seat, the visibility is great. I don't have to have the seat in its highest position in order to see over the hood. Uh, in the Ram, I can have the seat all the way down. I see over the dash, the steering wheel, the windshield. The windshield wipers don't even get in my way, and I can see over the hood just fine. With the Ford, with the seat all the way down, I couldn't do that, and I showed you that in my previous video, right? I had to have the seat all the way up, the steering wheel and the pedals extended towards me, so that I could have the seat kind of back and not like I'm literally on top of the dash. Because with the seat all the way up and sitting on top of the dash, because I'm short, I got short legs, right? It it's just not pleasant, um, and you know how we sit, our seating position, the visibility. That's important because as we drive these trucks, we have to be comfortable, right? So in the Ram, I'm most comfortable with the seat all the way down. I got great headroom. My head's not hitting the top of the ceiling, and visibility is great. And then B, overall size. The Ram is it fits me just fine. Yeah, the Ford is bigger. The interior space is bigger. You got more leg room, etc. The truck is longer, right? And I'm referring to a crew cab short bed. Okay. Um, the Ford is just a bigger truck. It is. Um, but the Ram, it just overall it fits me better. The size, everything is just fine, just right. It's like that, the Goldilocks uh, zone, right? This truck fits me the best. Okay, so let's move on to the Cummins diesel. Look, this is my 6th Ram Cummins truck, and um, I've always been a Cummins guy, even when I was little. I'm still little, but when I was young, in high school, I always wanted those Dodge Cummins trucks. In '94 when they redesigned the Dodge trucks and they had this semi truck look, I said, "Oh man, that's a beautiful truck," and I always wanted one. And when I was, working and saving money, and I was finally able to get one. I bought a '99 Dodge Ram 2500 black Laramie Sport, and beautiful truck. Um, I miss it, but yeah. So that was my first Dodge Ram Cummins diesel, and I've always been a Cummins guy. I can take apart this engine with my eyes closed, even the new 6.7. I'm very familiar with the engine. It's what I know. Um, it's it's just what I know. When I was younger, I didn't have the money to go to aftermarket stores or shops and get what I wanted to get done on the truck. I had to do it all myself. I would buy the parts and do all the work myself. Um, Whenever there was an issue, I did it myself. Um, so I'm very familiar with. I can literally take this engine apart with my eyes closed and put it back together. So that's how familiar I am with these engines. All right, and the injection pump, the CP3 injection pump. Look, those Fords, they're great powertrains. The truck is great. The power stroke is great. However, the CP4 injection pump, come on, Ford. GM has moved away from that. Ram got into it in 2019, then they realized, we made a big mistake, and they went back to the CP3. Ford, you need to do something about that CP4, okay? It is a ticking time bomb, period. Yes, there's going to be those that's put hundreds of thousands of miles on the CP4 and have never had a problem. But there are those that have had problems. The CP4, regardless of anyone's opinion, it doesn't matter. The fact is the CP4 is a ticking time bomb. That is a fact. That is a fact. You fill up at the wrong fuel station, the wrong moment, the wrong time, the wrong place, boom, your CP4 is gone, right? When I changed my fuel filters a couple weeks ago, it was the 45,000 miles. The fuel filter tray, chassis mounted fuel filter, right? It had rust and some metal shavings. Not a lot, 2 or 3 particles, but nonetheless, they were metal shavings. That's a little concerning. That's not why I traded it, because they could have been anything, right? Could have been from bad fuel, could have been anything. It doesn't necessarily mean it came from the CP4, but still there were metal shavings nonetheless at 45,000 miles. So going back to the Ram, the 21, and it has a CP3 injection pump, that's great. I don't have to worry about filling up at the wrong station, the wrong time, because CP3 can go, right? It'll just eat anything, and it'll go. It'll keep going and keep on trucking, right? So that's important to me, the CP3 injection pump. I don't have to worry about fuel or having to add additives all the time. With the Ford, I was very religious on adding fuel additives. With the CP3 injection pump, I don't really have to. Honestly, I don't really need to worry about adding additives with the CP3. So, okay, so let's move on to the transmission, the 68 RFE. As I mentioned previously, this is my 6th Ram Cummins. It is my 5th with the 68 RFE. My 2011, 16, 18, and 19, the 68 RFE has always been a little clunky. That's just kind of how those transmissions are. They're clunky. They're smooth-ish, right? But they're kind of clunky. When they shift, you feel them, right? They're kind of sloppy, right? That's just kind of how they are. And the 19 was a refinement from the previous 68 RFEs. And the 19 was better than the 18, 16, and the 11 that I had. But still, it was kind of clunky, sloppy, right? Had its moments, right? But this 21, I don't know what they did, but something's different. This 68 RFE is very smooth. It's incredibly smooth, actually, and it shifts like the 10-speed. As in, I don't feel them. It's smooth. I don't feel them as in the terms of like when it shifts, it's like you're getting punched in the gut, okay? At low speeds, you're going to feel it shift, right? But just accelerating, driving normal, it's smooth as butter, just like the 10-speed. There were times in the 10-speed, and I've mentioned this in previous videos, where it had some hard shifts. Nothing like the 68s that I had in the past, but they were noticeable. This 68 RFE is smooth as butter, okay? So I'm very surprised. I'm pleasantly surprised. So again, I don't know what they've done. When I bought my 19, there was a recall on the 68 RFE. Had to get some things changed, some valve body work and some other things done to it. But I think since then, particularly for the 21s, it's much more refined. It's much more refined. So, all right, let's move on to interior. The interior of these Rams, particularly the Limited, even the Laramies, even if you were to get a Bighorn edition, the Bighorn still had more options and was a better interior than even a King Ranch or even a Platinum. The only difference between a King Ranch, Platinum, and Limited is the leather. That's it. Everything else is the same. They still use hard plastics. The dash is hard plastics. Everything is just hard plastic. okay? In the Platinum and Limited, you get some brushed aluminum trim, but that's about it, right? For the most part, the interiors are all the same. They're all the same in the Fords, hard plastic. In these Rams, when you go to a Longhorn or higher, even the Laramies, it's great. The trim is great. A Laramie Ram beats a Limited Ford, okay, in terms of interior design, quality, etc. Now this Limited is fantastic. Leather, real leather everywhere. The dash is leather, right? Not like Ford where they have soft touch molded pieces with stitching to simulate leather and French stitching, okay? It's fake. Right? The Ram, it's real. It's real leather with real French stitching. You can literally take your hands and try to pry apart the leather at the stitching at the seams, and you can see it begin to separate. You know, like it's not gonna tear, but you can see that it's real leather, real stitched. It's real, right? I love that. The wood trim. Ram uses real wood, and on the Limited, it's black Argento wood. Okay, so I'm gonna bring up something real quick to show you guys. Right, this is from 2015 when the Limited first came out, right? And we'll just go down here because some people think it's like fake wood or whatever, right? But they use real wood, and that's fantastic. So yeah, so the real wood door is made from black Argento, the chosen timber for the Limited interior. All right, did you catch that? The real wood door is made from black Argento, the chosen timber for the Limited interior. All right, so it has real wood and it's great. And I love that on the Rams the steering wheel has real wood. The steering wheel, right? The remaining portion of the steering wheel receives a high gloss black Argento treatment with silver accent lines. Okay, so it's real wood. They use real wood. And I like that. That's an extra step in quality, you know. Ford uses real wood, I think, in their King Ranch trims and higher. I think it's real wood because you can feel the pores, right? But it could be fake. I don't know. Honestly, I don't know because Ford doesn't really tell you. Yeah, I don't think Ford actually ever did a press release or ever mentioned that they use real wood. So it could be fake. Who knows? You guys can fact check me on that. Obviously, I don't have my comments on, so and I do that for a reason because there's gonna be some kid out there that's gonna say something stupid like, "This is why you don't buy Dodge or Ram because it's not Dodge anymore, right?" Or right, like that kid at the beach where one of his friends driving a Dodge 1500 got stuck in the sand, and he said, "This is why you don't drive a Dodge." That's driver error, dude. Had nothing to do with the truck. Okay. Or some stupid kid saying, "You need to delete the truck." Look, deletion not happening. These trucks get phenomenal fuel mileage the way they are. I haven't had a problem in my 20, my 19, my 18, my 16. No problems. So, anyways, but yeah, so leather everywhere and black Argento wood trim. The interior is just fantastic, and the Limited has a lot of intricate trim accents and stitching and design. It's phenomenal. You know, I might do another video showing the interior of the truck, but if you don't already know, go Google it. It's great. The interior is fantastic. Okay, number 5. My setup, crew cab short bed. A Ram 2500 crew cab short bed, 4-wheel drive, because this is a 4-wheel drive truck, will fit in most standard size garages. And what I mean by that is if the garage is a 20 by 20, okay? Or even a 20 by 15, right? As long as the depth of the garage is 20 feet, this truck will fit. In my garage, in my previous video, my first impression is the truck was parked at an angle, but I think I showed the parking lines, right? My other previous Rams, I could always back the truck up straight into the garage. I can still do that with this and close the garage, but I won't be able to walk around the truck with the garage door shut because I've literally got no room at the back of the truck and the front of the truck, right? With the Ford, I had to park the truck at an angle in order to get the fit in the garage. Well, I'm doing that with my Ram now because parking it at an angle with the garage door shut gives me room to walk around the truck inside the garage when the garage door is shut. That's great. But this setup, the crew cab short bed, will fit into most standard size garages. When I was in Maryland, living up there, when I was stationed up there, my apartment, and most apartment garages are small, right? But my 2011 at the time, and I was about 16 at the time, they both fit in the garage in the apartment complex. That was great. Uh, Here when here at Fort Bragg, when I was in an apartment complex before I got the house, I had a garage, and it's a standard apartment size garage, and my all my Rams fit in the garage. The Ford didn't. The Ford is like, I don't know, like a foot longer or something. So it didn't fit in the garage. It was too long. Um, but the Rams always fit in the garage. Um, Even in 2013, when I deployed for 12 months, I put my truck. I had 11 at that time. I put my truck into storage, garage storage, one of those storage places you see off the highway, right? And I wanted to see if it would fit in the garage, and it did. It barely fit, but it fit in the garage where I could shut the garage door. So that's another reason why I wanted to go back to this size truck, because it'll fit in most size garages. And with this truck, I can fit my truck and the wife's vehicle in the garage if I were to park back, straight instead of angle the truck. So that's also important too, to make sure that my wife's vehicle can fit in the garage. But yeah, so this truck, the size, everything, it's just right. The turning radius is also better than the Ford. Ford now has a good turning radius, but still nothing compared to the Ram. Ram has always had the best turning radius in the industry. Period. GM can't touch it. Ford can't touch it. Ram has always had the best turning radius. Never had any issues with turning radius in the Rams. But that's also attributed to the size of the truck, and it's a little bit shorter, so that helps. Shorter wheelbase, etc. But yeah, so that's pretty much it. This is just a more, I guess, detailed overview of why I went back to the Ram, kind of things I wanted to talk about. And yeah, so we'll I'll do another video maybe showing the interior, but you can Google that. You can watch other videos on that, but I might do it for this truck. When I do my first oil change, I'll do a video there. I am going to be using Chevron Delo 680F 1030. That's that new diesel oil made for emissions. To reduce the ash, significantly reduced ash content. So I'll do a video on that, and then as I rack on the mileage with that oil, I will, I'll send in I'm going to send in a virgin oil analysis. Then I'm going to send a used oil analysis, and I'll report on it and see how the truck is doing, how that oil holds up. So, anyways, that's it. Hope you've enjoyed the video, and we'll see you in the next one.